Hello, aspiring DOSC Skonis ka. This is James from DOSC Northern Mindanao, and in this video, I will guide you through the process of applying for the 2026 DOSC SEI Undergraduate Scholarship. Now, ang pinakauna nyo pong gagawin is to visit the official website of SEI. It's science-scholarships.ph. And once nandito na po kayo sa page na ito, the next thing to do is click the Get Started button. Ayan. So bago po tayo mag-proceed sa online application, allow me to walk you through these important information first. Una, sa mga schedule, so nag-start po yung ating online application nung October 20, 2025, and the last day of online application and uploading of requirements is November 21, 2025, and the schedule of the qualifying examination is on February 21 to 22, 2026. Now, if you're wondering sino nga ba ang pwede mag-apply sa 2026 DOSC SCI Undergraduate Scholarship, ang pwede mag-apply ay yung mga graduating grade 12 male and female students in school year 2025 to 2026. Now, if you are under the STEM strand, all students belonging to the STEM strand are eligible to apply for this scholarship. While for those who are under the non-STEM strand, you must be in the top 5% of the graduating class. Now, pwede din po mag-apply yung graduate na ng grade 12 before school year 2025-2026 as long as hindi pa po nag-enroll sa college. So, same pa rin po if you are under the STEM strand, lahat po kayo pwede mag-apply. But if you are from the non-STEM strand, dapat po nabilong po kayo sa top 5% of the graduating class. Yan. Now, aside from that, you must also be a natural-born Filipino citizen, must be of good moral character and in good health. Maaaring nag-apply ka na before as long as hindi ka pa nakapag-college, no? And hindi ka nag-qualify. Ayan, apply to the scholarship but did not qualify. Or might have qualified but did not accept the DOSC SCI scholarship, pwede po kayong mag-apply ulit as long as hindi pa po kayo nakapag-enroll sa college. So, ito po yung last na eligibility criteria. Must have not earned any post-secondary units or no college units. Now, ito naman po yung ating mga application do's and don'ts. First, dapat meron po kayong valid and secured na email address. Gagamitin niyo po yan sa pag-create ng account at pag-submit po ng inyong application. Second, kailangan meron po kayong working na mobile numbers para kapag meron po kaming kailangan i-verify ay pwede po namin kayong makontak. Ayan, dapat po working mobile numbers. The third one is security of access credentials. Kapag kayo po ay nag-register, bibigyan po kayo ng system ng application ID. So para hindi nyo po makalimutan yung inyong application ID, you might want to take a screenshot of your application ID and then save it or save it on your notes. Ayan, dapat hindi po siya mawala kasi importante po yung inyong application ID in logging in into your account sa online application. Ayan. Fourth one, bawal po yung mga multiple accounts. So please do not create multiple accounts because magdi-delay po yun sa pag-access ng inyong mga application forms. The fifth one, dapat meron po kayong stable internet connection kasi nga po online application po yung DOSC scholarship. So make sure that you have a stable internet connection when you fill out your e-application. And last one, please avoid websites with outdated information. So beware of other websites that contain outdated information about the 2026 undergraduate scholarship. So lahat ng mga information po, yung mga legit na information ay nandito po sa website na ito. So ito lang po dapat yung inyong bibisitahin na website. Ayan. Punta naman tayo sa mga requirements. These are the documents that you must prepare. Ayan, nakalagay po dito, download the latest scholarship form C to J. So, ito po yung ating mga application forms. Dapat po nakalagay sa application form, ang year ay 2026. So, mag-ingat po tayo sa mga outdated na mga forms, yung mga nakalagay na 2025 or 2024 or early year, dapat po yung gagamitin nyo po na application form ay 2026 na application form. Okay. So failure to accomplish the forms properly may result to your disqualification to take the scholarship examination and a chance to become a DOST SCI scholar. Kaya be mindful po and read the special instructions here. Ayan, so ito po yung ating mga special instructions. So sa mga application form po, please print each form in an A4 size bond paper. So again, A4 po yan, hindi po yan long or short bond paper, kundi A4 size bond paper. Now, have these forms accomplished by the proper authorities, officials, the persons as indicated in each form. So, kada form po may nakalagay na proper authority, official, or person na sila lang po dapat ang pwede mag-sign sa form. Okay, so ensure that each form is fully signed with the full name of the authorized signatory clearly indicated, because failure to do so may result in the disqualification of your application. Ayan. Now, kung sakaling mag-submit mo kayo ng ibang document, no, aside from the application form. So if you will submit a different document other than the prescribed form, make sure that the document contains the pertinent information in each scholarship application form. So halimbawa, sa Form E2, kailangan nakalagay yung total number of graduating students. Sa Form F naman, dapat nakalagay din po yung years of residency. Kung ibang certification or ibang form po ang inyong gagamitin or isasubmit para sa application. Because it may, because the absence of important information like what I have mentioned may cause your disqualification. So kapag kompleto na po yung inyong mga forms, scan or take a picture of each accomplished form and save the file. So paano nga ba mag-name ng file? So ito po yung ating format, yung surname or apelido dash form at saka kung ano po yung form. So form C, form D, form E, F, G, H, I hanggang J po yung ating form. Then, submit each form using the upload module in the e-application system and make sure that you upload the correct file in its corresponding upload field, as submitting incorrect document again will also result in the disqualification of your application. Pinaka-last na instruction po, ensure that the files you upload are correct, complete, and viewable in the system. So make sure po na tama po yung inyong na-upload, kompleto po yung mga nakasulat doon sa document na yun, at dapat po klaro, especially pag yung mag-upload ng photos, dapat po clear po yung photo na i-upload po ninyo. Use the preview button in the system to do this, and files that are unviewable will be considered as corrupted and will cause your disqualification. Ayan. So, basahin niyo po yung mga special instructions po na nakalagay dito para hindi po kayo mawala at hindi po kayo ma-disqualify. Ayan. Now, I will walk you through the list of requirements po. Unang-una yung sa ating mga application form. So, the first application form is Form C, or the Certificate of Good Moral Character. So, all you have to do is click the download button. Ayan. Tapos, click po natin ito. Then, the next thing you must do is print this form. Ayan. Ito po. So, fill out nyo lang po ito using a ball pen. Ayan, tapos ilagay nyo po dito yung name ng authority, yung proper authority po kung sino po yung nakalagay. So halimbawa sa Form C, it must be certified by the principal or the guidance counselor kasi ito po ay certificate of good moral character. Now, as I have mentioned, if hindi po i-allow ni principal or guidance counselor, if hindi po nila bet mag-sign sa form na ito, then you may submit a separate or a different form galing po sa school na certificate of good moral character din. Yun po yung inyong i-upload or isa-submit as long as similar lang po yung content ng certification. Okay lang po yun. Pwede po kayong hindi magsabit ng Form C, yung Certificate of Good Moral Character talaga from the school. That's fine. Next is Form D or Certificate of Good Health. So, ayan naman. Actually, meron po akong guide na prepare here. Ayan. Ito po yung sa Form C. So, ito po yung guide kung paano po siya i-fill out. So, just write your name here, the name of the applicant. Ayan, ito naman sample name ng principal. So, Adrian Santos. Yung designation ay principal. Pwede din po guidance counselor. Dito po yung kanyang signature and the date po kung kailan nag-sign si principal or si guidance counselor. So, moving forward to Form D or Certification of Good Health, ang nakalagay lang po naman dito ay na-certify na you are of good health and fit to study in college. So, hindi nyo po kailangan dumaan or magpa-medical, magpa-x-ray and other process na ginagawa sa medical. Pwede na po hindi kayo magpa-medical. Pwede po kayong magpa-certify sa inyong school physician or school nurse. Pwede din po sa barangay health center kung meron po silang doktor doon or nurse or even midwife. Okay lang po yan sa amin. So, again, just write your name here, the name of the applicant. Then dito po dapat nakasulat yung full name ng authority. Kung sino po yun, doctor ba, nurse, or midwife from the barangay or from your school. So, the full name, the designation, for example, is school physician. Dito po yung signature niya and dapat mo merong license number yung magpipirma po ng Form D. And lastly, the date kung kailan po nag-sign yung doctor, yung nurse, or yung midwife ba from the barangay health center. Okay? Now, the third one is the principal's certification. So, as the name itself, yung principal po yung magsa-certify sa form na ito. It's Form E, pero meron po tayong apat na kinds of Form E. So, yung Form E1 po, ito po yung gagamitin ng mga applicants natin who are under the STEM strand. Yung Form E2 naman po, ito po yung gagamitin ng ating mga applicants coming from the non-STEM strand and must belong to the upper 5% of the non-STEM class. Yung Form E3 naman, ito po ay for applicants who are attending homeschool, and Form E4 are for those applicants who are under the alternative learning system or ALS. So, meron din po akong sample nito kung paano po siya i-fill out. This one. Yung Form E1, again, for applicant from the STEM strand, just write your name here, name of the applicant as a member of the grade 12 graduated class under STEM strand of, write the name of your school here, and the school year. So, for the school year 2025-2026, for example. Ayan. So, the Form E1 must be certified by the principal. Ayan po, ito din po yung sample name ng principal, yung kanyang designation, signature, and date kung kailan po siya nag-sign. Next is Form E2 naman. This one, write the name of the applicant, write the name of the school year, and eto po yung nakalagay. Dapat nakalagay po talaga dito yung total number of non-STEM graduating students. So for the Form E2 po, ang basis po natin sa top 5% of the graduating class ay yung standing po ninyo noong grade 11. So naka-note po dito, if applicant is an ongoing grade 12, please certify based on applicant's academic standing as of grade 11. Ayan. Sa Form E3 naman, para sa mga applicant who are attending homeschool, just write your name here, the name of the school. Ayan. And then, must be certified again by the principal. So, name of the principal, full name, the designation, the signature here, and the date signed. And for the Form E4, para po sa mga graduate ng ALS or who will graduate under ALS, ayan. So just write the name of the applicant here, the name of the school year, ayan. Since Form E4 po ito, it must be certified by the principal again. So ito po yung sample name, designation, signature, and date sign of the principal. So wala pong ibang magsasign sa Form E, kundi principal lang po. Okay? Next po is Form F or Certificate of Residency. Ayan. So this is to certify, write the name of the applicant here, then write the complete address. So meron po tayong guide here sa baba. So dapat from house number, unit, lot, block, building, compound, street, face, purok, ayan, village, subdivision, barangay, hanggang province po yan. Dapat nakasulat sa blank na ito. Dapat po kompleto. Then after that, you check one box here. So, depende po kung ano po yung applicable. So, if you're living in your current address or permanent address for less than 4 years, you check this box. And pag 4 years or more na po kayo dyan sa address na yan, you check the box for 4 years or more. And the Form F or Certificate of Residency must be certified by a barangay official, pero pwede din po ang principal. Okay, so example name of the barangay official here, ayan, tsaka yung kanyang designation. Dito po nakalagay yung kanyang signature and the date sign. Okay, next is Form G or the parent certification. Ito po yung certification, this is to certify that the applicant has no pending immigration application to another country. So, no need na po na pumunta ng immigration, baka po pupunta po kayo ng immigration. So this is just a simple certification Form G that you can download from the website. Ayan. Parent certification. And yung parent nyo lang po, either your mother or your father, yung pwede mag-sign ng parent certification or ng Form G. So just write your name here, the name of your mother or father, then the relationship to applicant. Just say parent. Pwede nyo din po isulat mother or father. Ayan. Signature, dito po dapat nakalagay yung signature ng parent nyo po and then the date sign. Now, if legal guardian nyo po ang magsasign, then just write the full name of the legal guardian, then the relationship to applicant. Ang nakalagay po dito ay legal guardian para po doon sa ating mga applicants na wala na pong parents. Ayan. So next is Form H, the DOST-SCI Scholarship Examination or Award. Ayan, Form H. Ito po. So all you have to do is check the appropriate box. Depende po kung ano po yung applicable sa inyo. So if you have not applied for a DOST-SCI scholarship before, you check this box. If you have applied for a DOST-SCI scholarship before but did not qualify for the scholarship, you check this box. And if you qualified but did not avail the award, you check this box. So isang box lang po yung most likely yung inyong i-check, pero kung I think isa lang, yeah. Isa lang yung i-check nyo dito. Then Form H must be certified by the applicant as well as the parent or the legal guardian or spouse for those applicants who are already married. Ayan. So write your full name here, affix your signature and the date signed. Same goes to the parent or the legal guardian or the spouse, the full name, the relationship to the applicant, the signature, and the date signed. Form I, applicant's certification of no post-secondary units. Ang parent lang din po and ang applicant yung magsicertify sa Form I. So this is to certify that the undersigned has not earned any college or post-high school vocational units and will not earn the same in AY 2025-2026. So para po doon sa ating mga applicants na graduate na ng grade 12, make sure po na hindi po kayo enrolled in college for AY 2025-2026. Meaning, you are planning to enroll in college on AY 2026-2027 pa po. Okay, so just write in full name of the applicant here, the signature, and the date signed. Same goes to the parent, the legal guardian, or the spouse, full name, relationship to the applicant, the signature, and the date signed. And ang pinaka-last po na application form is signed declaration of applicant and the parent legal guardian. Ayan, Form J. Pwede niyo pong basahin po ito so you can be guided. Ayan. So, ang magsa-certify lang po ng ating Form J ay si applicant lang din po and si parent, legal guardian, or ang spouse. Okay? So, again, full name, signature, date sign. Same goes to the parent, legal guardian, or spouse. Full name, relationship to applicant, signature, and the date sign. Okay. So, kapag kompleto na po yung inyong mga application form, so aside from the application form, ito din po yung inyong kailangan i-prepare. Kasama po ito sa mga requirements. Ayan. So, applicant's recent picture, passport size. So, ang size po ng photo is 4.5 by 3.5 cm or 1.8 by 1.4 inches. So, para po mag-guide kayo kung ano po yung itsura ng ating picture na passport size, pwede niyo pong i-click itong see more na button. Ayan. So, eto po yung tamang format ng ating passport size picture or photo. Dapat po white background, must be colored with white background, must show the face of the applicant, so 80% of the picture. Ayan po, makikita niyo po dyan. With handwritten name tag position at approximately 1 inch or 2.54 cm below the chin. Ayan, so nakalagay po yung full name, first name, middle initial, last name, and extension if meron, and then signature po over the printed name. So, hindi po, ito po yung ating mga wrong format. So, ito nakalagay dito, tama po yung kanyang photo, nakalagay yung kanyang pangalan, pero wala, yung signature niya po ay same lang din sa kanyang full name. So, mali po ito. Wrong format din po yung photo lang yung i-upload and wrong format din po yung may photo, may pangalan pero walang signature. So, ito lang po yung ating correct format. And dapat po yung photo na gagamitin or i-upload nyo po is taken within the last 3 months prior to filing of application. Okay. Next is the applicant's birth certificate. So, hindi po kami stricto sa birth certificate. Pwede po siya sa PSA, sa NSO, or bigay po siya ng munisipyo, ganon. So, if, para po mag-guide kayo, just click the see more button. Ayan. Dapat po readable copy, may be issued by PSA, NSO, or Municipal Registry Office, as already mentioned. Then, if the document that will be submitted is a birth certificate issued by other country, it must be supplemented by a certificate of reacquisition or retention of the Philippine citizenship issued by the Philippine Embassy. Ayan. Next is proof of income. Ito pong proof of income ay proof po ng income ng inyong parents, both parents if available po. So just let's click the see more button. Ayan. Para po mag-guide kayo kung ano pong klaseng document yung kailangan yung i-prepare. Depende po sa kung anong work meron po yung inyong parents. So just click this one. So for example, if ang parents niyo po ay OFW, so click this plus button. So ang inyong i-upload po to support or as proof of income is the 2024 income tax return. Pwede din po yung employment contract for OFW or kahit certification of employment with compensation. So naka-or po ito, so isa lang po depende kung ano po yung available na document from your parents. Ayan. Now, for those parents who are working for private household, for example, on-call construction worker, labandera, or kasambahay, ang pwede nyo pong isubmit as proof of income ay BIR Certificate of Exemption from Filing of ITR, or pwede din po Certificate of Indigency, or pwede din po Certificate of Employment with Compensation. Okay? Now, for those parents who are working for religious organization, for example, pastor, ang pwede nyo pong isubmit as proof of income ay 2024 ITR, pwede din po BIR Certificate of Tax Exemption, pwede din po Certificate of Employment with Compensation. Okay. Next, for those parents who are working for private establishment, for example, a call center agent, ang pwede nyo pong i-submit as proof of income ay yung 2024 ITR or pwede din po Certificate of Employment with Compensation. For those parents who are working for the government, ayan, for example, barangay official or other positions po as long as they are working for the government, ayan. So, pwede po ang i-upload ay 2024 income tax return or ITR. Pwede din po Certificate of Tax Exemption and or pwede din po Certificate of Employment with Compensation. Now, for those who are, whose parents are self-employed without any employees, for example, tricycle driver, farmer, ambulant vendor, sari-sari store owner, or dressmaker, ang pwede nyo pong i-upload as proof of income ay BIR Form 1701. Pwede din po tax exemption from BIR or pwede din po Certificate of Indigency galing po sa barangay. So para po doon sa magsasubmit ng Certificate of Indigency, make sure po ng name ng inyong parents yung nakalagay or sinicertify ng barangay na indigent, hindi po yung applicant. Okay? So, kung both your parents are indigent, so better po na both the names of your mother or and father ang nakalagay po doon sa Barangay Certificate of Indigency. Para naman po doon sa mga parents who are self-employed or professionals, for example, doctor or lawyer, ayan po, ang pwede nyo lang pong i-upload as proof of income ay 2024 ITR or the BIR Form 1701. Okay? For employer in family-owned business, for example, business owner po yung inyong parents, ang pwede nyo pong i-upload ay 2024 ITR or BIR Form 1701. For those who works with pay in family-operated business, for example, bookkeeper po kayo in family-operated business, ang pwede nyo pong i-upload as proof of income ay 2024 ITR. Pwede din po Certificate of Tax Exemption. Pwede din po Certificate of Employment with Compensation. Now, para naman sa mga parents na retired na po at tumatanggap ng pension, ang i-upload nyo po as proof of income ay any proof of pension po. So for example, any document po na nakalagay po doon yung tatanggap buwan-buwan coming from the pension po. Okay? Now, if both parents are unemployed, ang pwede nyo pong isubmit ay Certificate of Indigency. Again, ang nakalagay po sa Certificate of Indigency ay pangalan po ng inyong parents, hindi po pangalan ng applicants. So, important notes here, meron po tayong sample ITR para po doon sa mga ITR po yung kanilang i-upload. Ayan, so unang-una dapat year 2024 po yung ITR na isasubmit po ninyo. And then the system will ask for the annual gross income. So the annual gross income can be found here. Ayan po. So ito po yung i-input nyo po sa system kasi yung system ay mag-a-ask po ng information, yung annual gross income ng parents. So ito po yung annual gross income. And kailangan po, if ITR po yung inyong isasubmit, it must be signed by the employer and signed by the employee po. So, ito po yung ating example. Merong pangalan, merong signature ng employer, meron din pong name and signature ng employee. Okay? So, for a certain class of worker, any one proof of income may be submitted. Dapat clear po and signed copy. Again, yung annual gross income must be clearly indicated in the document. And the particular document depends on the parent's class of worker. So, ito po yung ating class of worker and yung mga required proof of income po per class. Ayan. Next po ay yung notarized affidavit of guardianship. So, hindi po ito required sa lahat. Required lang po ito para po doon sa mga wala ng parents and yung kanilang legal guardian po ang nagsusupport. Ayan. So, must be submitted if the applicant is being supported by a guardian other than the parents. And it must also be submitted if forms G, H, I, and J will be signed by a person identified as not the applicant's parents or spouse. So, kung legal guardian po yung nag-sign sa form G, H, I, and J, dapat meron pong nakasupport na notarized affidavit of guardianship. And ang pinakahuling requirement po ay yung marriage certificate, which is only applicable for applicants who are married po. If the applicant is not married, do not upload parents' marriage certificate. Okay? Kung hindi naman po kayo married, yung applicant ay hindi married, huwag nyo na din pong i-upload yung marriage certificate ng inyong parents po. Kasi hindi na po yun required by the system. Okay, so we're done with the requirements or the documents that you must prepare. I hope it's clear. Ang next po, ito po yung mga information na i-require ng system once start na po kayong mag-apply. So, household income, yung annual gross income ng inyong father, your mother's annual gross income as well, or the spouse's annual gross income kapag married po yung applicant, or the annual gross income of the legal guardian if the applicant is supported by a legal guardian. Aside from that, magre-require din po yung ating system ng financial contributions if the family receives support from an outside source. So just specify the name of the contributor, the amount of contributions to annual. Ang meaning po ng annual ay yearly. Ayan. And the purpose of the contribution. So for example, meron po kayong tita from abroad who is also supporting your studies, no? So pwede niyo po siyang i-declare doon po sa system. So just write the name of your tita, yung amount po yun na binibigay na yung tita annually, and ang purpose, you can just put financial support or for studies, ayan, ganun po. Other purpose, ayan. Agricultural land, if your family owns an agricultural land, so mas mabuti po na alam niyo po yung size ng land in hectares pa. Ayan. And then, the vehicle information. So, if your family owns a vehicle, so the system will ask for the type of the vehicle, the year, and the model. So, for example, tricycle, passenger jeep, car, or van. And the year and model po, for example, is 2024 Toyota Revo. Yan. Now, eto po yung application process. Unang-una po ang yung gagawin ay mag-register gamit po yung inyong valid email address. Ayan. So, mas mabuti po, preferred po namin yung inyong personal na email address kasi kapag yung school email address po yung inyong ginamit, maaari po kasing mawalan kayo ng access after you graduate. Kaya pwede nyo pong hindi na ma-access yung mga messages coming from us. Ayan. So, an email will be sent to you for verification after nyo pong mag-register. Then, step 2 is to proceed to the next modules. Ayan, yung personal data, contact information, family data, financial contribution, household information questionnaire, school information, and the last one is uploading of the documents. So the system accepts these file types, so JPEG, PNG, BMP, and PDF file types only. And the system accepts multiple files up to 5 megabytes per upload po. Okay? So please use the preview button po to check if tama po na document yung inyong na-upload per requirement po. So, halimbawa, Form C, you check if Form C nga talaga yung na-upload niyo sa Form C. Kasi baka po, ibang form po yung inyong na-upload accidentally. Ayan. So, you may accomplish the modules in any order and save your progress. And you must complete the modules on or before the set deadline. Again, yung ating deadline po ay November 21, 2025. So kapag nakapag-submit na po kayo ng inyong application, so you will be issued a test permit. So yung test permit po yung inyong gagamitin para makapag-take po kayo ng exam. Ayan. Then, after nyo po mag-take ng exam, of course, yung date, yung announcement po ng ating scholarship qualifiers. So, tentative date po is, for the announcement of the scholarship qualifiers is May 2026. Okay? Then, the effectivity of the scholarship award kapag kayo po ay pumasa, nag-qualify sa 2026 undergraduate scholarship, the scholarship award is effective the first semester or term of AY 2026-2027. Ayan. So, ayan. Para po makapag-apply, ayan, since tapos na po tayo sa mga important informations na ito, including the requirements, ayan. So, all you have to do is click nyo lang po itong apply now button. Ayan, makita nyo ba? Move ko lang to konti. Ayan, so eto po. So, meron po ditong robot, ayan na image. So, nakalagay click to apply or apply now. So, click nyo lang po yan. Balik ko lang to here. Ayan. 25. Ayan. So, after clicking the apply now button or the apply now button, may redirect po kayo sa page na ito, sa login page. So, since wala pa po tayong login credentials, so, and wala pa po tayong account, so, just click register. Ayan po. Ayan. So, step 1, register for an e-scholarship account. So, just type in your primary email address. So, gagamitin ko po dito ay yung email address po namin sa scholarship. So, re-enter email. Ayan, copy-paste ko lang yan. Then, you click this box. Ayan, check this box pala. So you consent that all the information that you will be providing in this application are yours and true and up to date. And you also consent that any misinformation, misrepresentation, or withholding of information will automatically disqualify you from the DOST-SCI scholarship program. And you also consent to the DOST-SCI data privacy term. So after providing your email address here, just click this register button. Ayan. And eto po yung nag-pop up verification. So we will send a one-time password or OTP to your email address for verification. So, eto po yung nailagay natin na email address. So, just click the confirm and send button. Ayan. Tapos, check po natin yung email. Ayan. For OTP. Ayan. Meron na po akong na-receive na OTP. This one, pakita ko po sa inyo. Ayan. Right. So, 744048. Submit. Ayan. So, after typing in the OTP, eto na po yung next part. So, complete your registration details sa given name. So, halimbawa, Juan, yung ating given name. Tapos, wala tayong middle name. Yung middle name po ay hindi required. So, pwede nyo pong i-leave this one blank. So, just proceed po tayo sa last name. Ayan. The suffix name, hindi din po ito required. So, leave blank if none. If you don't have a suffix like junior or the third, ayan. Same goes sa middle name if wala din po. So, Juan de la Cruz birthday, let's say 2000, January 1. Ayan. And then, you type in your password. Ayan, so, ano ba password? So, the field should be at least 8 characters long. Ayan, check natin. So, re-enter password. Then, click submit. So, ito po, nag-pop up register with this information. So, the information you provided cannot be changed. So, make sure that you will provide the correct information. So, it cannot be changed once you submit it. Hence, make sure that all the entries are correct and accurate. So, given name Juan, wala po tayong middle name. Yung last name is De La Cruz. No suffix name. The birthday is January 1, 2000. So, it is recommended that you double check your answers before submitting. So, if you want to double check, just click the cancel button. Then, if okay na po lahat, click the submit button again. And then, you confirm submit. Ayan. So, thank you for registering. Your registration has been received and your application ID has been sent to your email. Please check your inbox. Ayan. So, wait lang. Now, ayan. So, let's check the email again. And eto po yung aking na-receive na email. Ayan, this one. The registration was successful and ito po yung ating application ID. So again, as mentioned, pwede nyo pong i-save po yung inyong application ID para hindi po mawala. Dahil baka pag hindi na po kayo maka-access sa inyong email, hindi nyo na po matandaan kung ano po yung inyong application ID. So, let's proceed. Ayan. So, nakalagay din po dito yung ating application ID or applicant ID. Ayan. Ang next part po ay student information questionnaire. Ay, actually, nakalagay pala dito yung mga different modules na isi-select nyo lang po kung ano po yung bet nyo unahin na kumpletuhin. Pwede po, I think, student information questionnaire. Let's start with that. Question number 1, how many children including you are there in your family? So let's say 2. What is your order of birth in your family? Wala ba nakalagay? So since ako yung eldest, so 1 ba? Okay, 1. In what kind of community have you spent most of your life? So drop down button po ito. So just click whatever is applicable to you. Are you a person with disability? Just select no. What course do you intend to pursue in college? So you may select up to 3 courses. Now, wag po kayong mag-alala. Yung mga courses na ilalagay niyo po dito ay hindi po yung dapat na courses na kunin niyo once you pass or qualify with the scholarship. So you can just change it later. So you can input here yung mga bet niyo na courses. Let's say for example, ano ba? Search tayo ng engineering. Let's say chemical engineering. Ayan. So meron ng isa. Ano pa ba? Biology. Let's search for biology. Ayan, BS Biology. Then, the third one, let's see, ano ba? Mathematics naman. BS Mathematics. Ayan. So, I have 3 inputs here. So, Chemical Engineering, BS Biology, and BS Mathematics. Question number 6, what factors or reasons influenced your decision in choosing the S&T course you want to pursue? So, nakalagay po dito, choose 3 factors. So, drop down, ayan. So, let's say, interest in science and math. First choice, ayan. Ano pa ba? Let's say, pwede din teachers influence. And pwede din, let's say, good grades in high school science and math courses. Ayan. Question number 7. If you do not qualify in the DOST-SAS scholarship, will you be able to go to college? Pwede pong yes, pwede din po no. Silalagay ko po dito, let's say no. Kasi eto lang talaga yung pag-asa ko for college. Ayan. Question number 8, do you belong to an indigenous group of people? So, indigenous group, I think, no. Just click no for here. So, indigenous group po yung mga tribes. If you belong in any tribes, indigenous groups, ayan po. You can just click yes if you're a member of a tribe or an indigenous group. Pero pag hindi naman po, just click no. Question number 9, have you joined any of the following projects implemented or conducted by DOST-SCI during your elementary or junior high school or senior high school? So nakalagay po dito, if yes, select all that applies. Otherwise, select no. So for example, let's say nakapag-attend ako ng push for science. So, ayan, click ko yan. Or nakapag-attend din ako ng New Love event. Ayan. Or even Yes Awards. Ayan, just click. Yan lang. So, nakalagay po dito since meron po tayong nilagay na answers for 9.1. In what year did you last participate in those youth or STEM promotions? For example, a push for science. I'll just, let's say 2025. Ito din 2025. And yes, awards, let's see 2024. And last question number 10. How did you learn about the DOST-SCI undergraduate scholarship? Please select all that applies. So, drop down ulit. Let's say school or teacher. Pwede din sa friends, pwede din po sa website or sa social media, ayan. Click nyo lang po whatever applies to you, ayan. Ayan, so nasagutan na po natin yung ating student information questionnaire. So after that, scroll down and click the save button. So information save. Ayan, tapos may nakalagay dito na parang progress, no? Progress ng form completion. So we're at 14% pa. Then click back. para po makapag-fill out tayo sa other module. So we're done with the student information questionnaire. Let's proceed with the personal data. Ayan. So, given name, middle name, De La Cruz, ayan. Date of birth, hindi nyo na po yan ma-update kasi po nakalagay na po kanina na you cannot change your input kapag na-submit nyo na po. Ayan. So, ito, place of birth, let's say Cagayan de Oro City, sex, male, religion, ayan. Religion, let's say, Roman Catholic, citizenship, Filipino. Do you have a dual citizenship? No. Civil status, just put single. Ito pong DepEd na LRN or Learner Reference Number, hindi po ito required, but if meron naman po kayong access sa inyong LRN, pwede nyo po isulat dito. So, pili na lang ako. For example, this one. Pero pwede din po i-leave this one blank. National ID number, ito po ay optional, so hindi po ito required. So, you can leave both the LRN and national ID number blank po. Then, let's click save. Ayan. So, information successfully saved. We're now at 21%. Let's proceed to the contact information module. So, ayan, alternate email. Say for example, and about alternate email. Dapat po yung alternate email, dapat po siya, different po siya from your primary email. So, let's say, juandelacruz@gmail.com. Ito po ay sample lang po. And then, mobile number, let's say 09-123-456-789. Tapos, may question po dito sa baba. Are you a resident of your municipality for 4 years or more? So, ikaw ba ay residente na iyong munisipalidad ng 4 na taon o higit pa? So, just click yes if yes, then no if no. On my case, I'll just click yes. Permanent address, let's say, let's search for Cagayan de Oro. See. Let's say, Carmen. Ayan. So if applicable po sa inyo yung house number, unit number, lot, block, or building, you just type that information on this part. Ayan. Pero pag wala naman po, I think hindi po siya required. Street, let's say for example, JV Serenia Street. Ayan. Village subdivision. Wag niyo na pong lagyan ng NA if hindi po available. You can leave it blank. Ayan. Including the village or the subdivision. Pwede na pong blank na po yan. You're no longer required to like put NA there. Ayan. Just leave it blank. So, barangay, city, municipality, province. And then may question din po dito sa baba, is your current address same as your permanent address? So, if no, the system will ask for your current address. Just provide the information needed there. And if yes naman, di na po siya maghingi ng details for your current address kasi same nga lang sa permanent address. Okay, then let's just save that one. So information is saved. We're now at 29%. Ayan. Let's go to family data. So family information, is your family a recipient of the DSWD 4Ps? So if yes, then click yes. If no, just click no. So just click no for this question. Now, below, you must provide the information of your father as well as sa mother niyo po. Okay, so civil status of your father, let's say married, ayan. Given name, let's say, John, ayan. John De La Cruz, ayan. So, yung middle name, wala na po akong ilalagay. Same sa suffix name. You can leave it blank. Contact number, I think this is required. So, you must, required ba siya? Let's see. Malalaman nyo po if required yung field po if you click save and magre-red po siya. Ayan. So, ito po yung mga required na fields. So, hindi naman required si contact number. So, pwede nyo po yung i-leave blank. Highest educational attainment, let's say college graduate. Employment status in 2024. So, let's say yung aking father ay let's say works for government agency. Yung kanyang occupation ay, let's say, for example lang naman, let's say mayor, ayan, employer, state, ano ba, LGU, KNDR. Sa employer address, pwede na po yan Cagayan, D, or city. Then, annual gross income, let's say, ano po, I'm not really familiar with the annual income of the mayor, so lagay ko na lang, let's say, 400,000. Tama ba? 400. Ayan. Click po natin yung save. Ayan, naka-required po yung ibang details. Ayan, father's address, same as your permanent address. Let's just click yes for this question. Let's proceed with the details of your mother. Ayan, civil status, let's say married. Nilagay ko na name sa form. Ng name ng mother ay Angel. Ayan, si Angel De La Cruz. Let's say college graduate ulit. Ayan. Class of worker, let's see let's say walang work yung mother, unemployed. So if unemployed, hindi na po siya manghingi ng occupation details. Ayan, this is not clickable anymore. Name employer, tsaka annual gross income kasi nga unemployed. So let's proceed with the question. Mother's address, same as your permanent address. Let's just say yes. But if your answer is here is no, ayan, manghingi po si system ng address po ng mother niyo. Ayan. So just yes for this. So, may question din po sa baba, do you have a legal guardian? So, to be accomplished only by those whose parents are deceased, working abroad, and should submit affidavit of guardianship. So, legal guardian is not the same as the declared parents. So, if wala naman po kayong legal guardian kasi nandyan po yung both parents ninyo, so just click no. But if yes po yung sagot ninyo sa question na ito, the system will ask for the details of your legal guardian. So, the civil status, relationship, ayan, given name, last name, educational attainment, tsaka yung employment status in 2024. So, save lang natin yung family data module. Ayan, na-provide ko na lahat ng details. Ayan. Ay, okay, nawala. Ayan, sinawala siya. So, login tayo again using our application ID. Ayan. Tapos, type in the password. Click lang natin tong remember me. Ayan. So, we're back ulit sa mga modules. We're done with the student information questionnaire, personal data, contact information. Yung family data hindi po na-save. So, ulitin lang po natin yung sa family data. Ayan. Then, save. Ayan. So, information is now saved and we are at 36%. Ayan. So, actually, if you scroll down, makikita nyo na po yung mga documents na kailangan nyo i-upload. So, on this module, yung sa family data, ang need nyo po i-upload ay yung Form G, Form J, and then yung father's either ITR, or the BIR Form 1701, or yung kanyang Certificate of Employment with Compensation. Ayan. Pero bago po tayo pumunta doon sa mga uploading na module, kumpletuhin muna natin yung mga information needed by the system. So next is the household information. So ownership of the housing unit, you choose this one if it's owned or fully paid. Owned and amortized or nagbabayad po kayo buwan-buwan, rented ba, rent-free living with relatives or others, tapos you specify. So let's say own, fully paid, ayan. Next question here, does your family own a vehicle or vehicles? So if you answer yes to this question, the system will require you to input the vehicle type, the year model, and I think it's the brand. So like for example, the Honda, Suzuki, or Toyota. So let's say meron kaming car, AUV, SUV, tapos yung year model, let's say 2024. And then let's say Toyota Avanza. Ganun. Next question, does your family own agricultural land or non-residential land? You answer yes, tapos the system will ask you for the size of the land, so the lot area in square meters, but if you answer no, then di na po manghihingi. Kasi nga, wala, diba? So, just click no. Then, click save. Information is now saved and we are at 50%. Let's proceed to the school data. Ayan. So, which senior high school strand did you take? So, you choose STEM if STEM po yung inyong strand. Non-STEM naman if non-STEM po yung inyong strand. Like UMS, ABM GAS, or TVL. So, let's say STEM yung aking strand. Then, sa baba, you select your grade 12 school. So, yung school po, school details. Ayan. So, region, let's say yung school ko ay Region 10 kasi Region 10, ayan. Tapos province po ay, let's say, Misamis Oriental, municipality, let's say, Cagayan de Oro City. Tapos, nakadepende po sa kung anong region, province, and municipality na inilagay po ninyo, yung listahan na makikita nyo po pag i-click nyo po itong grade 12 school. Ayan. So, scroll nyo lang po itong list of schools. Bale, ito po yung nakikita nyo ay schools in Cagayan de Oro City. Ayan. So, ang nakalagay po dito ay grade 12 na school. So, kung ibang school po yung sa grade 11, so dapat ang piliin nyo po ay yung sa grade 12 lang po na school. Ayan. So, let's say, ano ba? Cagayan de Oro National High School. Ayan. Then, may question po dito sa baba, is your school included in the choices? Included naman siya. So, yes. Pero kung no, ayan, the system will ask you to provide the details of your school. Ayan. So, halimbawa, um, kapag eto po na-provide nyo na yung region, province, tsaka municipality, pero pagtingin nyo po sa list, wala po doon yung inyong school, then you answered no to this question, then you provide the details of your school. Okay? So, select ko lang po ulit yung Cagayan de Oro National High School, then answer yes this question. Then, click save. Ayan. So, we're now at 57%. Let's go back to the modules. Ayan. Test center selection. Ayan. So we are tentatively scheduling the face-to-face qualifying examination in February 21 to 22. Kindly select your preferred test center location below. So the listed testing centers are tentative and may be subject to change. So select test center location. And po meron na pong mga sample test center location here. Pwede nyo pong hanapin, scroll down. Sa case ko, let's select, second Southern Philippines. Ito po. This one. Ayan. Kasi nga, I am from Cagayan de Oro City. Tapos ito po yung pinakamalapit na test center sa Cagayan de Oro City. Pwede din po, I think, i-type yung address. So, let's say, Cagayan de Oro. Ayan, ito po yung lalabas ng mga test center in Cagayan de Oro City. So, let's say other location, let's say Bukidnon, ayan. Ito na ito naman po yung lalabas for Bukidnon. Ayan. So let's go back to ayan, the RCT. Ayan. Tapos may question po dito sa baba, how confident are you about your performance in a face-to-face pen and paper examination? So kapag daw po ba face-to-face yung ating exam, how confident daw po kayo to take uh, the face-to-face exam? So let's just say fairly confident. Ayan. Tapos ang question, second question is how confident are you about your performance in a face-to-face pero digitized examination? So let's say fairly confident. Ayan. Then click save. So information is now saved and we are at 71%. Ayan. So tapos na po natin sagutan yung lahat ng modules. May nakalagay po dito na parang red warning. Ito po ay mga files na kailangan po natin i-upload kada module. So click lang po natin again yung module na may red warning sign here. So for example, yung personal data. Ang dapat i-upload ay yung recent picture, passport size, ayan, tsaka birth certificate. Ayan. So meron pa tayong sample ayan. So pag i-click po natin yung upload button, nakalagay po dito, upload the file, and nakalagay din po yung mga details, kung ano lang po yung ina-accept na file types, yung size ng file, at saka pwede daw po re-uploading will overwrite the old files. So just click this one and then select a file. For example, meron akong na-save here. Eto. So sample passport size picture lang po ito. Meron po siyang photo, white background, may pangalan, merong signature. So this one is in a correct format. So, let's just save crop. Ayan. Tapos, click po natin yung upload button. So, as mentioned po kanina, pwede nyo pong i-click yung view na button para ma-check nyo po kung tamang file po yung inyong na-upload. Ayan. So, click natin yung view. Tama naman. Ayan. So, click close. Next, ang nakalagay po na status here ay uploaded na. So, tapos na po tayo for the passport size picture. Next is for the birth certificate. So, just click the upload button. Then, click this one. Let's say Delicrus birth certificate. Ayan. Then, click upload. Okay. So, we're now at 79%. Let's go back to the other modules. Ayan, kung makikita nyo po, naka-check na po na wala na po yung red warning tulad nito kasi uploaded na po lahat ng documents na needed for this module. So, let's go to contact information. Ang kailangan dito ay Form F or Certificate of Residency. So, click upload. Click natin to. Let's say, ano ba? Eto na lang. Actually, di ko to siya na one file did not pass validation constraint. Actually, feeling ko more than 5 MB yung file. So, I'm just gonna, gonna select a file. Kasi eto po ay, nandito lahat ng mga forms. So, separate ko lang sila. Okay, so I'm back. Ayan, so let's just click this one again to upload Form F. Ayan, then let's look for Form F. Again po, ganito po yung format ng naming po ng file. So, your last name dash the form. Ayan. So, para madali po siyang hanapin. So, let's look for Form F and Form F. Then, click upload. Ayan. So, view lang po natin kung Form F nga ba talaga yung ating na-upload. Ayan. So, Form F. So, correct naman. So, let's close this one. We're now at 86%. Mhm. Sa family data, ayan, meron pa tayong hindi na-upload here. Ayan, so Form G, J, tsaka Father's Proof of Income. So, click upload, this one. Then look for Form G. Ayan, and then Form J naman, this one. J, 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 ayan. J. And then yung proof of income ng father. Ayan, so upload. This one, De La Cruz, proof of income. So, yung in-upload ko lang ay yung sample ITR kanina. Ayan. So, kayo na po bahala. Dapat correct file po yung i-upload po ninyo. Ayan. So, again, you can click the view button para ma-check kung tama po yun yung na-upload. So, Form J, tama naman. Taka ito, Form G. Okay. So, we're now at 93%. So, 7% na lang. School data, ayan. So, sa school data, ang mga documents na kailangan po natin i-upload ay yung Form C, Form D, yung Form E, Form H, saka Form I. So, Form C, let's just click upload. Ito yung Form C. Then, sa Form D naman, ayan. Form Sa Form E, yung i-upload ko po, since ang na-select ko kanina ay stem strand, so yung E1, ayan, Form E1. Yung E2 po ay para sa non-STEM, yung E3 ay sa homeschool, and E4 ay ALS, if galing po sa ALS, ayan. So, next is Form H, ayan, let's select Form H. And then, yung last one ay yung Form I. Ayan. Form I. Okay, so we're now at 100%. So we're done with all the modules. And we have also uploaded na all the documents required by the system. Ayan. So since 100% tapos na po tayo, pwede na po natin isubmit yung ating application. So all you have to do is click this one. Kita nyo ba? This one, ayan. Submit my application button, ayan. So before you can submit your application, meron po naka-pop up dito na terms and condition. So you, the applicant, and the parent hereby, or the guardian spouse hereby certify the truthfulness and completeness of information provided. So any misinformation, misrepresentation, or withholding of information will automatically disqualify you from the DOST SCI scholarship program. So we are also willing to refund. So you are also willing to refund, no, all the financial benefits you receive, but the appropriate interest if such misinformation is discovered after you have accepted the award. Now, in connection with this application for scholarship, you hereby authorize the USC-SCI designated representative to conduct a background check on your socioeconomic status and to visit your family dwelling if necessary. If necessary lang naman po. Moreover, you hereby express your consent, no, to the USC-SCI to collect, record, organize, update, or modify, retrieve, consult, use, consolidate, block, erase, or destruct your personal data as part of the DUSSCI information. Ayan. So you also hereby affirm your right to be informed, to object to processing, access and rectify, suspend or withdraw your personal data and be indemnified in case of damages pursuant to the provisions of RA 10173 of the Philippines or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. So basically, you're just saying na before you can submit your application, no, you just agree to the Data Privacy Act and you um hereby certify na all the information you provided and all the documents you uploaded are true, are complete, and all the information you provided are yours. Okay, so just click agree to continue. Ayan. So confirmation, I hear, are you sure you want to submit your application information now? You cannot make changes after this. So how do you want to proceed? So you may review your all the information you provided and the documents you uploaded, but if you are already sure of all those information and all those documents, you can submit your application na. Just click the submit my application button. Ayan. Alright. So, eto na po. Pagtapos nyo na po na-submit yung inyong application, eto na po yung lalabas sa application submitted. Back to homepage kasi tapos na po tayong mag-submit ng application. And hindi na po natin mababago yung mga details po na na-provide natin sa system, including the documents we have uploaded. Kasi nga po, na-certify na natin na totoo na po lahat ng yan. Ayan. So, back to the login page, you can, if you log in again, may redirect lang po kayo doon sa part na application submitted na. Pero para po doon sa mga hindi pa nakompleto yung kanilang application, pwede nyo pong balikan. Just visit the website again and visit this part of the website, and then you log in again using your application ID, then type in your password so you can continue providing all the information needed by the system and uploading the requirements. Mm. So I think that's it. So I hope you're all guided now with the application process for the 2026 DOSCSA Undergraduate Scholarship, and we look forward to all of you during the examination. Meron din pong maliit na reviewer na ibibigay po si SEI sometime in December siguro before the date of the examination. So para ma-access niyo po yung para ma-access niyo po yung inyong test permit, you have to log in again using this page, this link, ayan. So just log in using your application ID and password, and you will see a download button for your test permit. You will also see a button there to download the reviewer. Ayan. So that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.